Okay, hi, greetings everyone. Today we are going to look at 1 Express Mathematics, Chapter 5 Linear Equations. We are in 5.4 Mathematical Formula. Alright, so as you can see behind me, there is a huge list of mathematical formulas. Let me move to a side and let you enjoy this in its full glory. Alright, and so with this, we will be exploring mathematical formulas in these subchapters. And so what is a mathematical formula? Alright, so a mathematical formula describes a relationship between different quantities. Right, so in our real world, we will be measuring things, we will be quantifying things, we will be putting things in terms of numbers. Alright, so in order to describe the relationship between these different numbers, we will rely on mathematical formula. So for example, if you can see on my left over here, to find the volume of the cone, alright, we have here the volume is 1 over 3 times base times height. So over here we have the relationship between the volume, the base area, and the height. So it's really a relationship between these three quantities. Alright, so let me show you a bit more formula that we can find from or you can just simply Google, or some famous formulas that we use frequently in the real world. Okay, so the first one is actually the mass energy equivalence. Alright, and who is this person? This is none other than Albert Einstein. So this famous formula, I think it's the world's most famous formula, E equals to mc square. So E equals to mc square. So what is this? It expresses the fact that mass and energy are the same physical entity, and you can convert mass to energy, energy to mass, and so on. So this formula is important because it has a lot of what you call this applications in the physics world. Alright, so next a bit to bring you back to the mathematical world. Over here we have okay, this how to read this name, it's not Euler, okay, it's called Euler. Okay, it's called Euler's polyhedron formula. So what are polyhedron? Polyhedron are just 3D shapes, right? And over here on my left we have four of the platonic solids, which are actually the four of the 3D solids with regular polygons as the faces. Right, so this formula over here describes a well-behaved polyhedron where it's a relationship between the corners, the edges, and also the faces. Right, so vertices minus edges plus faces equals to 2. Right, so this is a well-behaved this is a description of a well-behaved polyhedron. Right, next let's go on to this normal distribution. Now for Sec 1s this year, like previously we had this thing called the bell curve, and we try to do the norm, as in we try to make use of the normal distribution. So this formula over here, or this function over here, is the relationship between a certain number, a probability, and also some other quantities over here, or we so-called the bell curve. Alright, so this normal distribution is also so-called our bell curve, and but this year you'll be on the t-score, so it's a bit of a different kind of scoring system. Okay, so this is the AL, AL sum, so it's a bit different on the what do you call this, the grading, right? So this is what we did previously. Alright, next up we also have Maxwell's law. So this, if you are an engineer in the future, you'll be seeing this a lot in the future. So what are Maxwell's law? It describes electromagnetic behavior. So over here we have 4 sets of formula, and these 4 sets of formula govern the rules of electric fields and magnetic fields. Okay, so I think enough of this for now. Let us, I should show you. Okay, enough of this for now. So let us jump right into what the formulas that we can most likely handle. Okay, alright, so without further ado, let's bring out your notebook. Alright, it will be good to have a notebook with you. And over here what we are trying to do is we will be attempting some questions in the textbook. Alright, so based on your notebook, let's turn to page 136 with your textbook, and we will attempt practice now 6 under the 5.4. Alright, so over here we are exploring one of the formula, Newton's second law. So what is Newton's second law? It states that the net force acting on a body is given by F equals to ma. So net force F, m is the mass, acceleration is a. So whenever we give you a formula, it is important to quantify which letter represents which quantity, right? So for over here, F for force, m for mass, a for acceleration. So the units are this, and that. Okay, they give you units. Okay, so a, if m is 1000, a is 0.05, find the net force acting on the body. So over here we have, alright, we make use of the formula F equals to ma. Alright, so what is this? F equals to ma. Alright, so what do we do over here? M is 1000, A is 0.05. We substitute the numbers in to find the F. So M is 1000, right? A is 0.05. Okay, so over here, we have, what's the quantity that we have over here? We have a 50 Newton as our final answer. Okay, so this is the part A, right? So to substitute the number, find the unknown. Right, B. So B, if F is equals to 100 and A is 0.1, find the mass of the body. So using the same relationship, let us substitute the numbers into this thing over here. So F going to go into F, A going to go into A. So let us substitute over here. So 100 is equals to M times 0.1. Okay, so what we are going to do is let us divide both sides with 0.1. Divide both sides by 0.1. Okay, so 100 divided by 0.1, so M is going to give me 1000 kg. Okay, 1000 kg. Okay, alright, so let's take a look at the second question in the exercise. Okay, so over here will be a very generic formula, right? It's not a formula, so it's a relationship between y, b, a, and c. Right, so a generic formula. So we need to calculate the value of c when y is this, b is that, and a is that. So let us substitute in the numbers into the formula. So we have y equals to 12. Substitute over here and over here. We have b equals to 3. Substitute over here and substitute over there. And we also have a equals to 14. Substitute right over here. Okay, so let us do this. So y is 12. B is 3. A is 14. Y is 12. C, I don't know what is C. They never say what C. I'm supposed to look for C. Right? And over B is going to be equals to 3. Alright, so let us simplify a little bit. On the left hand side, 12 plus 3 will give me 15. 14 times 12 give me 168. Plus C is over 3. Alright, so with this, how do we solve for C? It becomes like our solving the equation last time. So what do we do over here? The 3 is at the denominator. We need to multiply to the other side. So this is 45 is equals to 168 plus C. Alright, so then what do we have over here? We can minus 168 on the right, minus 168 on the left. Alright, so what do we have over here would be negative 1, 2, 3 equals to C. So the final answer is C equals to negative 1, 2, 3. So we have found the value of C when y is 12, b is 3, and a is 14. Okay? Okay, so with this, let us move on to the next question. Practice now 7 in the next page, page 137. So as a reminder, please write this down in your notebook, yeah? Okay, so over here, we need to find a formula for the sum of any 4 consecutive even numbers. Okay, so this one requires us the skill to form our own formula. okay, to form our own formula. Okay, so let's take a look at one example of 4 consecutive even numbers. So for example, let us start with the number 20. Right? So let's say if we start with number 20, the next consecutive even number is 22, the next consecutive number is 24, the next consecutive number is 26. So what is the difference at every step you go? It will be a plus 2, it will be a plus 2, it will be another plus 2. Okay, so the first thing that we need to find if we want to write our own formula is to let a variable be something. Alright, so we need to let the numbers in general, right? So now we're talking about general numbers, yeah? So let the numbers be, okay, let's start with n. Okay, so let's start with n. The next number will be n plus 2, agree? And then after that will be n plus 2 plus 2. So plus 2 plus 2 is plus 4. Right? And after that we plus 2 again is n plus 6. So can you see that is n plus 2, n plus 4, n plus 6. It is 4 consecutive even numbers. Okay? So find the formula for the sum. So here sum means to add them together. So the sum, right, we have the letter S, so we need to write sum S is equals to n plus, okay, brackets are important. Make sure to put your brackets, alright? So n plus 2 plus n plus 4 plus n plus 6. So now this is straightforward because we're just adding, but when you have minus, then that is where things get complicated. Okay, so over here we have right, n plus 2 plus n plus 4 plus n plus 6. So how many n's do we have? We have 4 n's. 2 plus 4 plus 6 is plus 12. Right, so there we go. S is equals to 4n plus 12. So this is our formula for S. Okay, formula for S. Okay, number 2, hence, right? With a formula, we can actually do calculations very easily. Right, so one more time, with formula, we can actually do calculations very easily. So hence, calculate the value of S when the smallest even number is 14. So when the smallest even number, so which one is our smallest even number? N. Alright, so the thing is, when the smallest even number n is 14, so S is equals to 4n plus 12. So with this, we can substitute 14 into n plus 12. So 4 times 14 plus 12, calculator will give you 68. Okay, 68. So we don't need to like manually, okay, 14 plus 16 plus 18 plus 20. We don't need to do that. We just make use of the formula, put in the 14, poof, answer 68. So this is the use of a formula where we can describe the relationship between different quantities, and also when we form our own formula, we can use it to solve problems quickly and more systematically. Okay, so this ends the lesson that we have for 5.4, mathematical formula. Alright, so now what you can do after this is, number 1, you can do a quick search on the web, and you can find which formula inspires you. And this is also part of learning with Zest, is to really find out inspiring people and to see what kind of mathematics are out there. Alright, now secondly, we have our exit pass, so please take your time and finish up the exit pass 5.4 and submit to your teacher when you come back to lesson next week. So that's all for today's lesson. Thank you so much for tuning in. If there's any problems, feel free to rewind, fast forward, and to go back and to, you know, copy down or pause to copy things if you're too fast. Also, that's all. See you. Bye bye.